Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. They'll run with Mack. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a carry for Mack. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, it's Jackson. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
No, check, Patriot! Check that, we're like 52 right here.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete. And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Here's Mack on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Detroit!
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now a 7-0 game. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 7 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Powers past him at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
So in this case, you'd think the defense would be collapsing to the left side of the field, and they forced him to his left. So he just tucked it away and picked up some yardage.
Now Mack. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, Jackson. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and 5 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go play action here on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. His throw incomplete.
trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
No, check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Leopard!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now Jackson on second down. And an alley to run. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to have a third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
No. Jack, Patriot.
Jackson from the shotgun. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll run the option right here on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
Here's Matt. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and it's now 14-0. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You got him. You got him. Slow. Z.
Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And an alley to run. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's fourth. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The Broncos in their hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
Punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Here's Jackson operating from the gun. Now he steps away. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So the Broncos coming out now. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. but typically halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hot! Hot!
Looking to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room to the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They begin the drive with Coleman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, 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 hey! 4 down, 4 down,
He'll drop to throw. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
No. Check. Patriot.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney.
Coleman now. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll set up to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Shamar Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gone! All right, now, Lucky 56. Detroit!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
All right, now, Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look look to throw. Over the middle, Dorsett. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Left side, it's Dorsett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll set up a throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete a run like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll escape to his right. Looking deep for Julio. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, Jackson. Dancing to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now back to throw. Drops it off for Coleman. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
Watch it now, Barney.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down, and he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side, but the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield, otherwise that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Purdue man, this is Akeem Hunt, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Staying on the ground with Matt. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Coleman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Well, this is a new concept. It's third down, but they've got the punt unit on. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They're in a good spot. Two-possession game barely, but a two-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
Dante Hightower on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess